You know, when you get a cut, have you ever really stopped to think about what's happening? It seems so simple, right? But it's not. Your body is kicking off this ultimate construction project. It's incredible. And today, we're going to break down exactly how your body rebuilds itself, step by amazing step. I mean, seriously, we've all been there. You get a tiny little paper cut, you barely even notice it, but under the surface, oh man, it's like this high-stakes drama is unfolding. A perfectly coordinated process just leaps into action to seal that breach and fix the damage. So this whole construction project, it unfolds in 4 main phases. First up, you've got hemostasis. That's the emergency stop. Then comes inflammation, which is basically the site cleanup. After that, we get to proliferation, the actual rebuilding. And finally, remodeling, where all the finishing touches are put on. That's our roadmap right there. All right, let's jump right into phase 1, hemostasis. You can think of this as your body's emergency response team. I mean, the second there's a problem, they're on it. Kind of like paramedics showing up at an accident scene. The #1 priority, stop the crisis. Now. And this diagram, wow, it shows it perfectly. The second a blood vessel breaks, it's like an alarm goes off. And within seconds, these little tiny cell fragments, they're called platelets, they are the first responders on the scene. You can see them right here in the highlighted panel, just swarming the injury to form a quick, temporary plug. The official term for all this is hemostasis. It literally just means stopping blood flow. And you can see why it's so important, right? Without this first, critical step, the whole construction project would be a non-starter. It is all about sealing that breach immediately. So what's the game plan here? Well, it's a super fast 3-step process. First, the blood vessel itself just clamps down like a natural tourniquet to slow down the flow. Then, just like we saw, those sticky platelets come in and form the initial plug. But here's the thing, that's just a temporary fix. For some real stability, the body brings out the big guns, a protein called fibrin. It weaves this incredible molecular mesh, it's like biological rebar, that locks everything in place. And that solid clot, that's what we know as a scab. Okay, so the bleeding has stopped. Crisis averted for now. Now we move on to phase 2, inflammation. The emergency is contained, but the construction site is a total mess. We're talking damaged cells, maybe some bacteria that snuck in, so it's time to call in the cleanup crew. Now, check out this second panel here. You can see the site is just getting flooded by these specialized white blood cells. They're called neutrophils. These guys are the professional cleanup crew, the demolition experts of your body. Their job is to get in there, sterilize the whole site, gobble up bacteria and any cellular junk, and basically prep the ground for the new construction to begin. Now, here's something you might find surprising. We usually think of inflammation as a bad thing, right? We connect it with pain, with swelling. But when it comes to healing a wound, inflammation isn't just a good thing. It's absolutely essential. It's the sign that your body's defense and repair systems are working exactly like they're supposed to. Yeah, it's a totally targeted, protective response. The body is deliberately sending in immune cells and cranking up the blood flow to that one spot. Why? To get rid of any threats and to clear out all the damaged, dead tissue. It's simple. No cleanup, no rebuilding. So this cleanup crew has a pretty clear to-do list. First, get rid of any bacteria and junk. Second, break down all the damaged tissue. And third, send out these chemical signals that basically yell, hey, rebuilding crew, get over here. And all of this activity, this is what causes the classic signs we all know and feel. The redness, the heat, the swelling around a cut. That's not a bad thing. That's literally the feeling of healing. All right, the site is clean, it's secure, and now we get to the really exciting part. We're entering the most active phase of our whole construction project, proliferation. This is where the real rebuilding starts, filling in that gap left by the injury. And this third panel, it really zooms in on the new crew showing up. The main players here, the heavy lifters, are these cells called fibroblasts. You can think of them as, well, they're like living 3D printers. They show up on site and just start spinning out this scaffold made of a new protein called collagen. This is literally the foundation for all the new tissue. So yeah, proliferation is all about creating brand new tissue from scratch. The wound is literally being filled in from the bottom up with this new collagen framework. This creates something called granulation tissue. The blueprint for this rebuilding phase is just fascinating. I mean, all this construction work needs power, it needs supplies, right? So the body does something incredible called angiogenesis. It actually grows brand new blood vessels right into the wound to deliver oxygen and all the nutrients. And as these new supply lines are getting built, the fibroblasts are just furiously laying down that collagen scaffold. All of that together is what forms that healthy pink granulation tissue you might see in a healing wound. So, the gap is filled, the main structure is up, but the job is not done yet, not even close. The final phase is called remodeling, and it's kind of like the finishing work on a new building. It's all about making that new structure strong, organized, and built to last. Take a look at this last panel. You can really see the difference. The collagen that was laid down before in that proliferation phase, it was put down fast, so it was kind of messy and disorganized. But now, in the remodeling phase, those collagen fibers are being broken down and relayed in this super organized cross-link pattern, all for maximum strength. You see, this remodeling phase is what turns that fragile new tissue into a really durable scar. And get this, it is by far the longest part of the whole process. This is what's going to determine the final look and, more importantly, the strength of your healed skin. So here's the crucial takeaway, and honestly, it's pretty amazing. Healing does not stop when the scab falls off. For months, sometimes even for years, your body is still working away under the surface. It's methodically getting rid of temporary cells, it's realigning those collagen fibers like a master weaver, and it's dramatically increasing the tissue's strength. That new patch of skin, it can eventually reach up to 80% of the original strength, which is super strong, but never quite the same. So when you look at the whole journey, all 4 panels together, from that instant emergency plug of hemostasis to the critical cleanup of inflammation, the fast-paced rebuilding of proliferation, and finally that slow, careful strengthening during remodeling, it's so clear. Your body is an absolute master builder, running a perfect construction project every single time. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, if all of this incredibly complex process is happening for one tiny little paper cut, what other invisible marvels of engineering and repair are going on inside you right this very second?